siema. We are Flavia and Radu, and you are watching Discover the World Through Its Marathon, that documentary that combines sports, culture, and history. We are at the 39th edition of the Warsaw Marathon. It's a pretty rainy day, but I'm sure that we're gonna have a lot of fun.
Yeah, definitely. This is the 15th episode of Discover the World Through Its Marathon, and we are very happy to be filming it here in Poland, in Warsaw, at this wonderful marathon. We visited the city a bit yesterday, and it's just one of the most beautiful capitals in Europe for sure.
You have to know that this marathon started in 1979. It was called the Peace Marathon, and over 1,800 people took part in it, making it the biggest marathon at that time in Europe. And a fun fact about the first race is that the winners were awarded with paintings. At that time they didn't think they value something, but they are made by very famous Polish artists, and now they're worth millions. We're gonna show you Warsaw in Poland as you never saw it before.
I hope you enjoy it. The start of the race takes place in the Three Crosses Square, which takes its name from three crosses that stand here. One of the neoclassic history is Alexander's Church, and two on top of columns several dozen meters away.
These ones, right?
Yes.
The columns are there, yeah,
Exactly.
and the crosses.
Yes. Just wanted to say that all of the buildings here surrounding, including the church, were destroyed in 1944 during the Warsaw Uprising, and afterwards they were rebuilt to the 19th century facade and following all of the original plans.
So we are here. We are with the keepers of the Warsaw Siren, right?
Yes! Yeah.
They are such a huge team!
On our first evening here in Warsaw, we had dinner at this lovely restaurant called Rosanna. It's very close to where we are right now. This is the second kilometer of the 39th edition of the Warsaw Marathon, and I really recommend you to go to this place for traditional East European cuisine, especially Polish cuisine.
And it's classical and romantic at the same time.
Yes.
A very beautiful location to spend the night here in Warsaw.
And very good desserts as well.
After the Second World War and the Warsaw Uprising, 84% of the city was completely destroyed, right?
Yes, it was demolished, bombed by the Germans. So all of the buildings that you can see today in the city are rebuilt. Many of them after the original sketches of the buildings that were there before the Second World War.
This is absolutely amazing, and it speaks so much about the Polish culture.
Yes, and very few things were left standing after the Second World War, but we will show them to you as soon as we get there. We are now at the 12 kilometers of the Warsaw Marathon, and we are running through a very green, I'd say suburban residential area, which I think is great for joggers, for people that want to train. They also have a bike lane. At least now it's very quiet here, no cars, so it feels amazing. The weather is very nice for me, at least
For me also.
Yeah, a bit rainy, a bit chilly, just the perfect conditions for a good run. At the 30th kilometer of the race, we have reached the Temple of Divine Providence, one of the most important Catholic buildings in Warsaw and in the whole Poland. Actually, it's a complex made out of a pantheon of great Poles, a museum of Pope Paul II, and a Catholic church, of course.
With a history of more than 200 years, the Roman Catholics in Poland, this is the place that celebrates the Roman Catholicism in this country.
Sami tutaj nie wiecie, GoPro nagrywa, więc jest lepiej. Zobacz no bo tam ci zionie,
This is such a peaceful atmosphere in Warsaw. You can breathe the fresh air and enjoy this beautiful nature next to the blocks of flats. We are now running in the center of Warsaw. This is a beautiful race and this is the perfect weather for the marathon.
We have just entered LEGIA Park, also known as the best park. It's the biggest park in Warsaw, occupying over 76 hectares. It's a wonderful place that we visited yesterday, and we're gonna show you around this wonderful green lung of the city.
This is the most beautiful park in Warsaw for sure.
Designed in the 17th century as a bats park, this wonderful place became in the 18th century a place for villas, orangery, palaces. You can see here the Palace of the Isle and two wonderful orangeries where a lot of paintings and things from museums like sculptures were saved during the Second World War.
We are also in the Oriental area, as you can see through the Asian decorations over here, and here are some Asian pavilions. I don't know if you can see them, but people come here to spend a beautiful time during the weekend. We have here the Oriental motifs, which
Oriental lampions, which are not original, of course, but they were original back in the 19th century because before that it was the Romantic period, and they got a lot of inspiration from Asia, Middle East, and places like that.
We're now going out of the park, and this is a very interesting story about this place. Here it's the street lighting with gas system, so every night here the city lights are manually started by gas. People start to light lit by hand. This is the only place, no, they
one of the
two places in Warsaw where they still have gas lighting on the street. They are trying to keep the historical facts here in this beautiful park, and we think that a little bit of nostalgia is the thing that you need to enjoy this beautiful place and totally understand its rich history.
Also in this park you can see the statue, the famous statue of FRYDERYK Chopin. If you do not know, Warsaw is the city of Chopin and of Marie Curie, two great personalities that this city has given to the world. And this statue was completely destroyed during the Second World War. It was the first monument in Warsaw to be bombed by the Germans because they wanted to destroy everything that had to do with the culture and history of the city. And listening to Chopin, to FRYDERYK Chopin, was forbidden during this period. This is the Palace on the Isle, if I'm not mistaken. And you can see the wonderful Chopin statue, which is an exact replica of the original one.
Yeah, and every Sunday during hot season, international artists come here to Warsaw to play the piano next to the Chopin statue.
It's a great honor for the artists.
It's a great
to come here.
honor, and they don't ask for any money. They are just so honored to be here in the place that's so representative for the international culture that FRYDERYK Chopin created.
Yes, and in this wonderful park you can see a lot of squirrels. Alexandra just fed one. And also, if the weather is good, you can see peacocks.
As we exit LEGIA, we just want to show you this beautiful view behind us, the palace that you can see, the water. You have to come here. We said it already once, but we said it 2 times, so we make sure that you visit Warsaw and you spend some hours in LEGIA.
We are now crossing in front of the Sport Expo, the place that we visited yesterday, where we got to meet the 13 people that finished all 38 editions of the marathon so far, and they are running the 39th this year, and we got to do an interview with one of them. Welcome to Warsaw Marathon Sports Expo, the place where you can pick up your race kit, try some new sports equipment, and find out more about other races in the world.
And also fly with a small airplane at the entrance. This is really funny. Before the race, it was a presentation of all 13 athletes, amateur and professionals, right? There are amateurs, all amateurs. Only amateurs. 13 athletes finishing the Warsaw Marathon so far, 39th edition, and they are all here to finish the 39th edition together. This is a very beautiful story from Poland. Thank you.
Mr. Franciszek told me that it was very great moment in his life, because for the first time all those guys were presented like this before the marathon, when people are gathering here and Torvar, and he was applauded. Yes, it was even better than runners. So, dziękujemy bardzo. Gratulacje, panie Franciszku. Our congratulations.
Gratulacje.
Panie Franciszku.
Very close to the Sport Expo is the stadium of Legia Warsaw. This is one of the most successful Polish teams in history. They won 12 internal championships, Ekstraklasa, and they have one of the biggest supporter gallery in the world. They love this team. The atmosphere here that they create is absolutely amazing. We had the opportunity to see the supporters coming for a match on Friday before the marathon, and it was such a beautiful atmosphere at the Legia Warsaw Stadium. We made a short detour from the marathon course, which is over there, to show you the museum FRYDERYK Chopin, which is a very important part of Warsaw, and we couldn't miss this during the marathon. If you are here, you have to check what Fryderyk Chopin left behind and why he is considered one of the greatest artists in the world, and for sure the greatest Polish artist of all time. We are now crossing the Vistula River, which is over here, and behind us you can see the National Stadium of Poland. This was built especially for the UEFA Euro 2012, which happened in Poland and Ukraine. This is a very beautiful stadium. This is practically the home of Polish football, which now in 2017 is the 5th national team in the world. And also I want to tell you that Poland finished 3rd in the FIFA World Cup 2 times in the history, making it one of the most successful teams in the world ever.
I want to tell you a short legend about the statue that you can see behind us, the Mermaid of Warsaw, that always holds a sword and is ready to defend and protect the city, as the fishermen did when they rescued her from a rich merchant that imprisoned her.
Yes, and also some legends say that, have you heard of the statue of the mermaid in Copenhagen? Some legends say that this is the sister of the mermaid in Copenhagen. We hope that someday they will reunite.
And we're very anxious to be holding the Mermaid of Warsaw on our chest at the finish line, as the medal of this marathon is engraved with the mermaid. Just across the street from the National Stadium you can find the Copernicus Center, which is a wonderful interactive place with a lot of exhibitions, over 450 interactive exhibitions, especially for kids. They have a chemistry, biology and physics laboratories, a discovery park, a planetarium, a robotics workshop, and this is just to name a few. We are now running on the Holy Cross Bridge, which is a cable-stayed bridge, 479 meters long, crossing the river Vistula, which is the longest and largest river in Poland, more than 1,000 kilometers in length. And this area is right now one of the most important entertainment areas in the city. You can come here to do water sports, to relax, sit at the bar, drink something, or party all night long. At the 28th kilometer of the race we have entered PRAGA Park, which is in the Praga district in Warsaw. This park hosts the city zoo, an adventure park, and an island on which you can find a bear run. That means that 3 bears are living here in the park and everybody can visit them. It's free of charge.
Why is it called a bear run?
It's
like people run better when the bear runs
when
after
the bears are chasing them.
We are having a great time running in the beautiful neighborhood of Prague, situated on the other side of the Vistula River in Warsaw. We are now crossing Vistula for the 2nd time, and behind us you can see the old city center of Warsaw. This is by far the most beautiful part of the city. Most of it was destroyed during the Second World War and the Warsaw Uprising, but now it looks like a fairy tale. You need to spend a few hours over there walking through the narrow street, admire the beautiful architecture, the buildings and the museums that are found over there. We went there for a walk and we realized that every 50 meters you have something different to see, right?
Yes, all the buildings are extremely beautiful, and you can see the only 2 things that were left standing in the old city center: the Sigismund statue and the city walls that were reconstructed using the same bricks from the original walls.
Also, the Bristol Hotel is one of the very little buildings that stayed alive during the Second World War and the Warsaw Uprising. It's absolutely spectacular. It's a symbol of the old Warsaw town, and we invite you to go here. Also, the finish of the race is only a few hundred meters away from the old city of Warsaw.
Yes, but we still have to do a 10-kilometer loop, so not so fast though.
Also behind us, so we don't forget about it, is the tallest structure building in Poland, as you can see it over there.
It's the Palace of Culture and Science, and it's built in the Seven Sisters style. A lot of the ex-communist countries have one. We have one in Bucharest, which is the House of the Press right now, and this is the 8th tallest building in Europe. One of the things I love the most and I admire the most about this place is that almost all of the volunteers here are kids. I don't know if they were sent by their schools or not, but I think it's amazing. They came here, they're doing a lot of work, as you can see. They offered us water, bananas, everything.
They're very nice. They are cheering
smiling.
the runners all the time. They're super positive, and we think that this is the great environment to bring the kids and inspire them to run. So if you have kids,
and to do volunteering as well.
Yeah, if you're a kid or you have kids, invite them to do sports. They'll find the spirit of fair play and friendship. Last 7 kilometers of the race. The good part is that we have the sun today with us for the first time, and the rain stopped, which is good.
And the other great thing is that we are running next to Kepa Potoka, which is an 18-hectare greenery and recreational area. It's beautiful, it has bike lanes, children playgrounds, and a wonderful old canal part of the old Vistula. Just before the end of the race, we are running along the walls of the old city citadel, which was one of the few things that remained undestroyed during the Second World War.
Some forts also remained undestroyed, right? But we didn't see them exactly on the marathon course.
Exactly,
they are in the vicinity of the marathon course, the old forts, but please go on with the citadel.
No, just wanted to say that part of it was destroyed, but they used the same bricks to rebuild the new ones. And on the other side you have the Vistula River, so it's a magnificent way to end the 39th edition of the PZU Marathon from Warsaw.
I tutaj większą grupkę również. Lećcie do samego końca, za chwilę 300 metrów przed wami. Ostatnie 3 do poznania. Podgotowy, odcinek. Dawaj, 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 dawaj! Kochani, tylko końcówka. Wiem, że boli, ale trzeba ukończyć.
This is the beautiful finish of the Warsaw Marathon! Woo!
Brawo,
The end of this amazing race takes place at the Multimedia Fountains, very similar to the Montjuic Fountains in Barcelona, where we had the start and finish of our 11th episode of Discover the World Trees Marathons, which you can watch in the link below.
Many thanks, Warsaw, for offering us not a marathon but a lifetime experience. We are so happy to see how this city was rebuilt, and it's so beautiful nowadays, welcoming millions of tourists every year. This is a marathon that you have to try because you will experience the sports, cultural and historical life of Poland. Many thanks to the organizers of this race, the Warsaw Marathon, for inviting us here to film this documentary. Also, many thanks to Unica Insurance, the official insurance company of 321 Sport, Answer, Nefos Romania,
Lightweight equipment.
Nefos Romania, Discovery Romania, Garmin Romania and World Cross Romania for encouraging this documentary. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to send us a message if you like this episode, and if you're Polish, we hope you are proud of what you have seen, because you have a beautiful and amazing country. Thank you for watching. Flavia, Matei, Radu, Restivan, 321 Sport from Romania. That was the 15th episode of Discover the World Trees Marathons.